taller than the player that's across from them. And so that's where they're going to be at a disadvantage at this one. And with Air Force, they matched up. This is a team that's only averaging 55 points a game. Well, Air Force that's a pace that Air Force plays at. So it's about matchups.
For Nick Emery, this will be his first start since winning the high school national championship before his 2-year mission to Germany. And we wonder if this is the beginning of the Emery era that'll take BYU basketball to where it's never been. We will find out as his career plays out. And BYU controlling the opening tip. Tom O'Neill, Sean Lehigh, and Dennis Flannery, our officiating crew tonight. Deep in the corner, Fisher for 3, got it! Maybe the biggest basket of the night coming from Chase Fisher, who has been ice cold the last 2 games.
I love the extra pass by Emery. He was in the paint, he could have shot that floater, a difficult shot. Instead, he made the extra pass to a waiting Chase Fisher, wide open with his feet square on that 3-point line. That's what Dave Rose is looking for tonight, getting the right shot and making the extra pass.
Hey, it was 1 year ago tonight. Fisher made 10 3-point shots against Chaminade, setting a school record. High off the glass and in goes Henry out of Queens, New York.
And Tarjay Henry averaging just 4 points a game. Beautiful floater over the big guys.
Kaufusi answers right back with the left hand. Corbin averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds. He had 14 the other night against Adams State, 17 on the road against Long Beach State.
And Dave Rose in shoot-around today talked about making sure that this team understands that the offense this year needs to run inside out. They've got the post presence, I should say presences, because there's multiple that can do that.
Emery on the steal with the left hand. You saw him shift down a gear, shake the defender, and in for 2, and it's a fast start for the Cougars. 7-2 BYU. Emery had 20 points against Adams State. Many of those points coming from his defense, which is what we saw throughout his high school career at Lone Peak. Collinsworth with the steal. The Devils get it right back. Shot too strong by Phillips. Now the Cougars on the run. Emery pops for 3. He's got 5.
Watched Emery in warm-ups, and he made shot after shot after shot. And from that spot and from both corners.
BYU's been waiting a couple of years for him to get back and get healthy, and he is going places. Here he is on the steal.
You see Emery, great anticipation. He has good quickness.
Fisher, long on a quick 3.
And that was a heat check. He's like, okay, knock the first one down, and that one was early in the offense. I think Dave Rose likes that one that came inside out better.
Jabari Alex off the glass. Cougars come running again. Collinsworth, well defended there at the free throw line. Knocked out of bounds by Kyle. And the Deltas will have it. Our score bug is brought to you by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Brady Industries Clean Solutions, a tradition for generations. Alex out of Chicago. This is Phillips from Memphis. Back to Alex. Shot clock under 10. Kick out, open look from the right side. Nicely done. And Damian Young drops it in. He had 13 at Nebraska. He gets his first bucket tonight. They have no match for Kaufusi down low, but their quick hands knock the ball away.
And that's what they're going to need to depend on, is getting hands in the passing lanes and making that entry pass difficult. They got to defend it before it gets to Kaufusi in that low block. But the last time down, I liked the way Kyle and Phillips broke the defense down off the dribble, created that jump shot for Damian.
This is Phillips. He had 11 points on the road at Air Force in that 1-point loss. Shot clock under 10. Baseline shot up over Davis. Brought down by Fisher. Nick Emery, another 3. Kept alive by Collinsworth. Off of Mississippi Valley. Initially, BYU got a hand in there, but not everybody knew. That ball was going the other direction, and you saw Alex go after it, and he takes it out of bounds. BYU is 4 of 5 from the field. That's a save that you don't have to save.
And Jabari Alex, I like the hustle play, but he thought it was off of his guy.
Kaufusi, nice touch. And Corbin with 4. Good dish from Emery.
You mentioned that Dave Rose said they just don't know what his ceiling is. He's such a youngster when it comes to basketball. Spent a lot of time preparing to play college football, and he just grew like a crazy man on his mission. Came back as a basketball player, so his future is all ahead of him. I guess everybody's future is ahead of him, isn't it?
But if you're alive, yeah.
But he's got a great future ahead of him.
Emery slashing to the basket, leaves it for Davis.
Oh, beautiful give. So twice now in this game, we've seen Emery with unselfish plays, giving up the basketball, giving up a good shot for a better shot. And that's what Dave Rose wants to see.
Devils call a timeout. We talked with Nick just before the game, said, hey, it's your first step.
100% back as a basketball player following a 2-year LDS mission to Germany. And he said, I'm really close. The toughest part, however, was getting my shot back. I'm not quite there. But Dave, I think if you look at what he's done the past 2 games, how much better do you need him to be?
I think we'll know he's back for real when he starts getting chippy with the other teams, which he did throughout his high school career at Lone Peak. 72-5 as a 3-year starter, 3 state championships, and a national championship for Nick Emery.
He's a very confident player, and that rubs off on his teammates. And he played alongside some fantastic players, but and very talented players on that high school team. But he made all of those guys better, and he can do that here, especially when he's giving up the basketball. BYU with 5 assists already in this ball game.
Collinsworth a swooping left hand. Kaufusi cleans it up, goes up strong, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. We saw his brother Bronson dominate Fresno State back on Saturday on BYU TV, and well, I tell you what, that toughness runs deep in the Kaufusi family, doesn't it?
Well, and he's got that mindset to get after the glass, especially on the offensive end. And you see his touch from the free throw line. He's got good rotation on the ball. In this game, he should dominate. He should come into this with the mindset, he and Davis, with, hey, this team has nobody that can deal with me. And they should attack.
He's got 7 points. Long outside shot from Marcus Romaine, his first shot attempt of the season, back off a 4-game NCAA suspension. Davis, the recipient of an Emery pass, and Davis with an easy 4.
And Emery with another assist, his 3rd in the ball game, and that's what you have to do. If the big guy runs the floor and beats his guy down to that low spot and with good position, you've got to reward him and give him that lob.
Isaac Williams into the game along with Michael Matlock as Andre Payne's gone deep to his bench.
And I was wrong. That was Emery's 4th assist already in this ball game.
Good crowd here on hand on this holiday eve with a snowstorm along the Wasatch Front today. Romaine, left-handed miss. Cougars are on the run. Emery open for 3. You can't leave the freshman open. 22-5. Emery with 8. And all of this with Kaufusi down low and Emery outside means good things for Kyle Collinsworth, doesn't it? Because you can't double team the triple-double machine.
Well, and if you got Emery knocking down shots on the perimeter and Chase Fisher knocking down shots, you can't help off the guard line and go down there and try to cut Kyle Collinsworth off, which means he'll go wherever he wants.
Fisher, another 3. Too strong. Nice box out by the Devils. And then Matlock on the run. 14 straight games on the road. Clearly, this is how you fund your athletic department.
This is all about bringing dollars in. And it's a good experience as long as these kids don't get beat up. And a nice 3 from the corner that time by Rashawn Searles, the 6'4" junior out of Flossmoor, Illinois. It's a good experience for them. It should make them better in their league as long as they don't get beat down and lose their confidence.
Kaufusi has it slapped away. Romaine with Collinsworth from behind. And off the glass and in.
Good finish by Romaine, Marcus Romaine out of Brooklyn, New York, my old home state.
They still claim you back there?
Yeah, when I go back, they still say you're a New Yorker. And once in a while, I'll have a little New York accent. My kids say, Dad, that was New Yorkin'.
Davis is fouled. He's going to go to the line, and he'll shoot 2.
Let's go take a look at that last possession by Mississippi Valley State. Now we'll watch the free throw first here.
Davis 48% from the line. That's an area he's got to get better from, because as active as he is down low, he's going to be sent to the line an awful lot. As Nate Austin checks in and Kaufusi checks out.
Yeah, Davis's ability to create mismatches with his quickness down low is going to get him to the free throw line. And you see his numbers, averaging 13 boards a game. And so he's got to work on that part of his game to reward this team and himself for being dominating down there. He is going to get to the free throw line. He's too quick for most big guys to handle.
Davis goes out with 5 points. Jamal H checks in. For BYU, Dave Rose won't hesitate to use 13 players on his bench. Romaine swoops through and bounces it in. Back-to-back buckets for Romaine, now with 4.
Romaine's just coming off of a 4-game suspension, transferred from East Los Angeles Community College.
Austin misses from short range.
He went from Brooklyn to LA to Mississippi. He's making the rounds.
Foul on the play against BYU. 2 free throws coming. H picks up his first. We've got a timeout here at the Marriott Center. 11:51 to go. BYU 20. Look at him in his distribution here in the early moments.
He's been fantastic. 4 assists, 1 steal, and you know what? 0 turnovers. That's even more impressive. I like a 4-0 turnover or assist to turnover ratio, getting it to Kaufusi inside, distributing to Chase Fisher on the outside. This time making the extra pass and an easy bucket for Davis inside. Well, he has been fantastic in the start of this ball game and rewarding the coaches for giving him the starting nod.
Romaine at the line with 5 points. He's been the spark for the Devils off the bench. And he's going to hobble off, favoring an ankle, and Damian Young will return. Let's check in with Spencer.
Dave, Mississippi Valley State head coach Andre Payne had a clear message during that last timeout. He pointed out 44 and 21, Corbin Kaufusi and Kyle Davis, and said, you've got to beat the BYU big guys down the floor.
And that's a great point. We talked about Emory rewarding Davis for beating his guy down the floor. Mississippi Valley State's smaller and nimble. They should never let the big guys beat them into the paint down on the other end of the floor. That's a great point by their coach.
Rashawn Searles running the offense for the Devils. Young from deep in the corner, up top, shot clock's at 8. Searles backs it out, pats his head. Long 3 off the glass. Cougars come running, and a reach-in foul. That'll go against Damian Young. That's the first on Young. That's 3rd team foul on the Devils. And BYU will have the ball out as Emory will lead the game for the moment, and Jake Toulson checks in for the Cougars.
And this is one of the things I've been watching for with Toulson now coming off the bench. You want him to still have confidence, even though Emory's starting, because you're going to need him this season to be able to come in and give you offense off the bench and knock down shots. So let's watch how Toulson performs here as a 6th or 7th man coming in.
Austin with the offensive rebound. Here's Toulson's first shot. Too strong. Offensive board. Fisher will try a 3. Knocks it in. 2nd 3 of the night for Fisher. Made 103 of them last season.
Well, and that one wasn't even in rhythm. He kind of hesitated and had his feet split and still was able to knock that thing down. He has a beautiful stroke. Came
in tonight 4 of 19 shooting 3s. He's 2 of 3 so far tonight. So many weapons, and as we visited with Dave Rose today, he said, you know, we're just trying to figure out how to function out there as 5 guys. I got a lot of guys, they were all stars in high school. How do we function as a team? See, battling for the loose ball, and it's off of Austin. Devils keep possession.
Another unselfish play. Toulson misses. He could just refire, but he notices Chase Fisher with his peripheral vision that's set up opposite him on the 3-point line and gives it up. We've seen a lot of unselfish play out of this BYU basketball team, and that's one of the things that Dave Rose has emphasized this last week and a half in practice. He was not happy with the dribbling into shots in that Long Beach State game.
Still hard to believe BYU had 24 turnovers in that game and just 26 made baskets. And you give a team 24 extra possessions and they only beat you by 1 point. I think that's even more frustrating. Probably should have been blown out as Fisher goes out and Zach Sellius checks in for BYU. First foul on Fisher. 9:51 to go here in the half.
BYU right now.
Collinsworth the steal. And the finish. First basket of the night for Collinsworth.
And another steal for BYU. They've been playing solid defense. You know, even while the offense has been trying to come together and get some flow, they've been pretty solid defensively in the early going here.
BYU with a 9-2 advantage in points off of those turnovers. Austin knocks it away, and they nearly got another one. 7 seconds on the shot clock. This just a moment ago.
Yeah, you see the quick anticipation and good hands of Kyle Collinsworth, and then the finish on the other end.
Deep inbounds pass to Kylan Phillips. Shot clock at 4. Reach-in foul by Collinsworth with 1 second on the shot clock. That's going to send Henry to the free throw line. First foul on Collinsworth.
Henry comes into this game 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Henry, the junior out of Queens, New York. Another guy from one of the 5 boroughs. The Big Apple. I'm heading there next week. Go home and visit the big city, catch a couple plays, do some work.
They'll be happy to see you. We'll be happy to have you come back. Jordan Chapman checks in for BYU.
Is there a more fun place than New York City during the holidays, though? I mean, just walking down Fifth Avenue and the storefronts and how they're decorated, it's just puts you in that Christmas spirit. Love New York City in December.
Free throw goes in for Henry. Full court pressure for the first time. BYU beats it rather easily. Toulson will go to the line. Got a good dish from Sellius, and Toulson will shoot 2. Spencer.
You may have noticed Kyle Collinsworth grimace on that last fast break layup. He's defending out the defenders. Dave Rose just pulled him out and said, "Are you okay?" And it looked like, from what I could see, that he said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine."
Free throw goes for Toulson. We also saw Romaine limp off, and then he walked past us into the BYU locker room area with the Cougar trainer to get some attention. 2 points for Toulson.
Yeah, and this Mississippi Valley State team, they're traveling with a kind of a skeleton crew on the road, and so the hosting team's medical staff always, of course, willing to help out.
As they should. And starting 5 for BYU, all out for the moment. 8's on the rebound after the miss from Henry. Austin. Stuffed.
Wow, what a block.
Denied by Alex. Austin's got to finish that. Tie up, and the possession arrow is going to favor the Delta Devils. Let's take another look.
Now, Jabari Alex, 6'4", using that vertical jump to come from behind. I love when the little guys rise up.
Absolutely. 6'4", denying 6'11". And then you got the reach.
And that needs to be just a vicious throwdown is what that should be by your big guy.
Austin's missed 2 point-blank shots here in the first half. Tempo has really slowed down the last few minutes. A whistle and a foul away from the ball. And this will go against Chapman, his first. Chapman out of Vancouver, Washington. Had 8 points against Utah Valley, 5 against Adams State. Knocked down a couple of shots against Long Beach. It's a challenge for Dave Rose and his staff if they were saying, hey, let's get an 8-man rotation, coming up with those 8. You got the 5, you got the 6, then everyone else comes in and contributes about the same. A long 3-point shot, missed by Young, thrown away. Devils come back for more. Into the lane, and in goes Damian Young.
Good finish by Damian Young.
Now it's Toulson. Nearly turns it over. Off of Sellius, and back we go the other way. Sloppy exchange there for BYU.
For BYU, they want to be on attack, and they want to push the ball, but they don't want to get in a hurry and be careless with the basketball. We saw that a little bit at Long Beach, and here the last couple of times.
Chapman now out with it. Chapman gets it back from Toulson. And the Devils come running. Mississippi Valley got beat by Grand Canyon a couple of nights ago, 94-60. On this 14-game road swing, they're going to go to Hawaii, go to Northwestern. Here in Provo, there's a bank shot from Phillips. If he called glass, we'd give him an extra point.
No, you want to know what? The Thanksgiving holiday's not till tomorrow. Bank's still open late into the evening, obviously. Nice bank by Kylan Phillips.
And the lead is 12. Lots of subs coming in on the next whistle for both teams. Eights into the lane, kick back out. Toulson, 3 top of the key. Kept alive by Austin. Back to Toulson. Chapman looks over, and BYU's going to try to run a set play here. Lazy pass by Chapman. Selya saves it and then takes it over mid-court and turns it over. Not a great sequence for BYU. We've got a timeout on the floor.
Job distributing the basketball, 4 assists in this first half.
Corbin Kaufusi checks into the lineup for BYU. Fresh legs across the board for the Delta Devils. Langura into the game. Kaufusi up off his feet. That's a 3-point opportunity for Latrell Love, a senior out of Minneapolis. Had 16 the other night against Grand Canyon. Chance to go to the line and get an extra. Kaufusi picks up his first. Now you can get 2 tickets for $20 to any January men's home basketball game and get a $10 gift card to a local restaurant. That's a win-win. For details, call 801-422-2526. Call tonight. 3-point play. Converted there by Latrell.
JC transfer to Iowa Lakes Community College. He averaged 16 a game in JC. He's a guy that knows how to score, and as you mentioned, coming off a 16-point game.
Devils have trimmed the BYU lead to 9 on an 8-0 run, but Seljas answers with his first basket of the night.
And Seljas is another one of those. He's a long guy at 6'7" on the outside out of Bountiful High School. Where they won that state championship, 22-6 record. He had 82 threes as a senior. That's knocking them down.
Big trees are battling. The active arms of the Delta Devils win another possession, and Love kisses it off the glass. Now with 5.
3 of 8 now for Mississippi Valley, and 5 of 11 for BYU from behind that 3-point arc.
Emery and Collinsworth ready to check back in. Eights, spin move. He'll go to the line and shoot. Langura picks up his first. And Jamal, sophomore out of San Diego via UNLV, go to the line. He's 1 for 5 from the free throw line. This has been an awful start for BYU on the season at the free throw line.
They come into this at 54%. That 54%, they've got to get better. I mean, that's obvious to everybody. You can't shoot 54%, or you're going to lose close ball games against good, against good competition down the stretch. They just have to get better.
8 looks good on those offerings. BYU's lead back to 12. Under 5 minutes to go. You saw Collinsworth and Emery check back in. We'll see what that does to the Cougar defense. Langura. This is Isaac Williams. Now the quarterback, Damian Young. Open look from the baseline. It's too strong by Love. Offensive rebound and another foul. Michael Matlock's extra effort wins a chance to shoot 2.
Michael Matlock, another one of the JC transfers on this Mississippi Valley State roster, played at Shelton State Community College. 6'6" junior is out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Second foul on Jamal Eights. Belmont out of Nashville, Tennessee will be here on Saturday. They've been to the Big Dance 7 of the last 10 years, and they went to the NIT the other 3. They got their scores back from last year. That's going to be quite the night Saturday here on BYU TV.
Belmont is a legit program that will not be intimidated. They'll come in here expecting to be able to steal a victory.
And we're looking forward to that one. And then it's the last tune-up for the Cougars before they go up to Salt Lake City and take on Utah next week, December 2nd. Searles picks up his second foul. BYU has the ball out of bounds. 4:13 to go, 35-25. Cougars came charging out of the gate, build a double-digit lead, and then the Devils have chipped away. Celius. Look from Celius. Romaine back into the game, which is good to see. We mentioned he'd limped off, went to the trainer's room. Under 4 minutes to go. We'll hear from Dennis Pitta coming up at halftime. One of the great tight ends in BYU football history. Baseline shot. Romaine got a good look. Another possession by those pesky Devils.
And Dennis Pitta, one of the best tight ends in the National Football League until injuries have kind of taken his game away. He was one of the best.
We'll get his take on another player who has had injuries take away a lot of his career, and that's Taysom Hill. Long three, Davis on the rebound. So Dennis Pitta coming up here at halftime. We think you'll enjoy it. Inside post touches, Dave Rose told us was a key priority for tonight, and they haven't been able to get them on the last handful of possessions. High arcing shot from Romaine, and Celius on the rebound. Celius for 3.
Good box out that time.
Well, are you impressed by their ability to rebound?
Love. And they have a huge size disadvantage, but they understand position rebounding.
Matlock was 6.
Yeah, that time Latrell Love with a great block out of Kafusi was going hard after that offensive glass.
We'll hear from Dave Rose coming up here at the break, get his take on this first half. Right around Kafusi and off the glass goes Love, now with 7.
So Love does a great job of cleaning the glass on the defensive end and then goes down with a nice inside move on the offensive end.
Emery answers for 3.
That's just pure right there.
11 for Emery.
When it just hits the very bottom of the net and snaps it. I love the sound when you hear that, but with the crowd noise, you can't hear it.
Under 2 minutes to go. And one thing Emery has that we saw at Jimmer is the moxie and confidence to shoot it just about anywhere at any time. Davis loses his footing. Emery passes on the shot to Celius, gets it back, shoots again off the front end. Collinsworth chases down the rebound, and he's pushed and fouled by Romaine. Timeout on the floor, 1:34 to go in the half. Virginia in the Big Dance. BYU Sports History Showcase is brought to you by the BYU Store, your home for authentic BYU products. Kyle Collinsworth at the free throw line. Drops the shot in. Collinsworth with 3. Coming up at the half on BYU TV, former Cougar tight end Dennis Pitta. Earlier today on BYU Sports Nation. Stats and highlights brought to you by Bodyguards. That's all coming up at the half. 2 made free throws by Collinsworth. And the Cougar lead back to 13. 90 seconds to go here in the half.
Well, I like the way BYU shared the basketball in this first half, Dave. 10 assists on 13 made field goals. That's a really, really high percentage. Dave Rose told you today that was important to him.
Look at Emery diving on the floor. Devils